Mark Hayes.
Yes.
Vidal Sassoon, International Creative Director.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, pleasure. It's great to be here.
Now, I just saw a great show. Obviously, you're introducing your next collection, is that correct?
That's right, yes.
Tell us a little bit about it and how you came about it, what gave you the idea,
Okay.
etc.
Well, I suppose it's inspired by a few things, really. We're very influenced by lots of different kind of media sort of stuff, you know, the art world, the fashion world. So really it kind of draws on lots of different inspirations. We release 3 collections a year for the Academy. So in order to kind of move forward, sometimes you have to sort of look at what you've already done. Earlier this year we released a collection called Stage, which was very urban, very dark, very kind of monochromatic. And then in mid-season, in June, we released a collection called Deco Deluxe, which was kind of 20s inspired, Art Deco, that sort of thing. So this time we've gone for something that's kind of very 80s, very hard edge, very pure Sassoon technique. It draws on the sculpture of a guy called Naum Garbo, who was a Russian constructivist and was kind of working with these very amazingly light sculptures that were constructed out of straight lines but made these beautiful elliptical curved shapes. And I kind of thought that was good because Sassoon technique is all about straight lines but creating like curves in the hair, which is what we do. So there was a distinct parallel there. I was also very interested in the new release of a movie called Tron, which is coming out later this year. And I was kind of thinking of doing something kind of based on science fiction films like Metropolis, Blade Runner, that sort of stuff. And when I found out that Tron was being released as well, I actually took my daughter to the cinema to go and see Prince of Persia. And I saw an ad for Tron and I just sat there and thought, yes, that's it, Tron.
It's the remake,
perfect.
Right?
Exactly, yeah. Tron the Legacy. Well, I saw the original one in the 80s.
Right.
I'm that old. So yeah, so kind of basically Russian constructivism, Tron, science fiction, Metropolis, Blade Runner, Tron, that sort of thing influenced it. Well, quite, exactly, yeah. And then all set against the kind of repetitive background music of Kraftwerk, which is like an 80s electronic band. And they had this very, very famous album cover. The album was called The Man Machine. And they were all the 4 men in the band, all with black kind of Germanic sort of haircuts. And they wore red shirt, black tie, black trousers. And I've always wanted to create that image for Sassoon because I just think it's so iconic. So when I was thinking of putting this thing together, I suddenly thought it'd be so amazing to have like all the girls dressed in red shirts, black ties, black trousers, and just kind of have this kind of slightly androgynous kind of feel to the look, which is, to be honest, for the Sassoon Academy is very much our look. So there's a distinct parallel there as well. So it kind of draws on lots of different things, but ultimately you end up with this very kind of androgynous, almost slightly kind of beautiful robot, like women are beautiful machines or something like that.
That's nice.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
So, Vidal Sassoon, of course, when you think of hairdressing, I think most people automatically think Vidal Sassoon. And you mentioned how with your teams you create different different collections for the next season, etc.
Yes.
So what would be the process? Obviously, you get inspired by films, you get inspired.
Yes.
Also, your inspiration comes a lot from your upbringing in your childhood. I noticed when I read some research on you.
Oh,
like
goodness
the
me.
clubs and the people. And
yeah, I mean, I think everything, you know, when you're in a creative industry, as obviously the beauty industry is, there's lots of things that you know, if you walk around with your eyes open, you kind of get influenced all the time. I've always been interested in image and style, you know, music's part of that, theatre, film, fashion, all that sort of stuff. And you kind of, I find you sort of collect things over the years and they all kind of go into a melting pot and you'll use some of them with some. I think what's interesting is sort of taking 2 things that are seemingly disparate kind of ideas and putting them together, and it creates this kind of hybrid of an idea. I think the Japanese do that really well. Whenever I'm in Japan, I always walk around and I'm totally blown away by the street style there, because they just kind of do anything, and it's all very, very eclectic, but somehow it comes together. But I think, to be honest, all those things are inspirational. But for me, the most inspirational thing is working with our creative team, because we've got creative directors all over the world, basically, from everywhere from Shanghai to Los Angeles and everywhere in between. And they are constantly on the lookout for new, interesting things that inspire them. So whilst I might come up with an idea for a collection and translate that to the team, they will then, the most exciting thing is when they take the ideas, the general ideas of the look, and then kind of process that and translate it out in with their own style.
Right, yeah.
You know, so even though it fits into the whole collection, it's very much about individualism inside of that look. We've got something like 60 odd models in the show this afternoon. So you do have everything from curls to straight to long to short. You kind of have everything.
I suppose it keeps the passion there, keeps it fresh.
Oh, yeah.
All the top hairdressers like yourself are always saying it has to be fresh, it has to be passionate,
Yeah.
keeps them going. And I'm sure your team is you inspire each other, I suppose.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we get together quite regularly, work on ideas together. We've just done a 3-day course in our academy in London, which it's called the Master Academy, and we had a very select group of 10 students at the course. And essentially what it's like, a lot of people have said to me, can we come and help you backstage? And unfortunately it's not always possible, but sometimes backstage is kind of as, if not more exciting than on stage, because it's where everything happens, and people want to see that, want to experience that. So we've just done that, we share that with students. So yeah, that's a very exciting thing. It's always great when you're putting a new collection together, working with the team, coming up with new ideas, and just seeing where the whole thing, we kind of lose ourselves in it, to be honest. We're there, 24 hours a day. Yeah. If you're not there, you're thinking about it, and and it's very, oh yeah, you have to. I mean, I think you have to maintain, obviously, Sassoon as a brand. It's an amazing responsibility, a huge responsibility to kind of continue that legacy. But it's also an amazing opportunity to take the brand on into the 21st century.
What's next, do you think? I mean, you're so passionate. It's great to hear you talk about it. It really, really is. What do you think the next step is? Also, you teach a lot around the world, don't you?
Yes, yes.
Have you seen anyone or any hairdresser that maybe is not known yet, or any form of style or any technique that you think is going to be the next big thing?
Well, I think there's so many hairdressers around the world. It'd be unfair to pick one out. I mean, Nick Orojo in New York, I think, is an amazing talent. I think he started with us. He actually started with me in Manchester, of all places. And he has just kind of really, I think, taken New York, certainly, and maybe America by storm. And, he has this way of cutting with razor, which obviously we don't do. But he's totally reinvented his technique for his own brand. So I think that's very exciting. Back here in London, I think there's a guy called Richard Ashforth, who has a brand called Seiko, who's very, very new. They've only got two salons, I think. But he, again, was from Sassoon. It's kind of amazing. We've got this kind of extended family of people all over the world that do this amazing stuff. So he's doing some beautiful work. But, everywhere you go, Japan, the States, Australia, have got some incredible hairdressers. Beautiful work, beautiful work. Everywhere you go, there's someone doing something really exciting and really modern and really now.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. Really
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
That's all right.
Have a wonderful, wonderful time here.
I will do. Thank you.
And that's another episode for ScissorBoy. You ready?
Yes.
Snip, snip.